everyone, welcome on the channel for new battle report. So this is the second game I played on the Swiss bootcamp. So it's a game between different members of the ETC Switzerland team, and I was playing against Andy and his Highborn elf. Like I said, I don't know exactly when I'm going to release this one, but surely an interesting game. And as you will see, we played like 2/3 of the game live on the table, and the last third we unfortunately had to finish, so we finished it on warhall, which was a good way to get an end to this very thrilling game. You know already my list, and this was Andy's list. So he's playing Griffin on BSB on a Griffin. Then he has the usual High Prince with the 5 spell Master Conrect Tower as a general. He has a Wizard Adept of Pyromancy. He has 5 Highborn Lances. He has 20 Archer, 12 Archer and 10 Archer. He has 5 Alien River with bow, 2 Frost Phoenix, and I think then 2 units of Lion Guard, 3 Seaguard Reapers, 5 Grey Watcher, and I think he had also the Great Weapon on the High Prince in addition to that. But that's his list. We were playing all the ground on the diagonal, and below you have the spell selection. I tried to pick this time the ward save spell. I felt in shooty matchup against Highborn Elf it can be interesting, but you will see it's worth a debate. I think it's a choice which is always hard to pick. Grave Cold, Toxic Breath are kind of obvious. I felt also the Mark for Doom can do a lot on his BSB, and Phoenix can be a huge threat, so definitely some good choice here, but I wasn't sure about the last spell. We will talk about that at the end of the battle. Quickly regarding the matchup analysis, so I'm feeling like outrange. He will be winning the range battle while I have more close combat power, so I should be better on this secondary objective, which should be a good news for me. But since it's a training game, you will see Hanty will have really a go at the secondary objective and try to win it. I think getting the first turn here seems important because we are playing on diagonal, meaning we are going to be close to each other. If I can get first turn, deploy my range damage in the middle, and Andy would try to face me, he will be in my range damage zone quite quickly. So that could be a huge problem for him. And on the opposite, if he can start to do range damage, he could reduce my units and then try to create a weakness in my battle line after he kills some bodies with his range damage. So let's talk about deployment. First of all, about the map, we have impassable here, forest quite in the middle, that's all the ground. We have then hill, we have here another impassable, I guess, or ruin, and then a field. I won the roll for sight, so I gave him the impassable in his small triangle, and I felt also the hill is going to be to my advantage to protect myself from his bolt thrower, thinking here about the Overlord. And obviously Andy elected to drop for first turn. He deployed Phoenix on each side, which makes sense. Then we have here some Lion Guard with, I think, General. We have Grey Watcher. We have Alien River. We have the other unit of Lion Guard. Archer. The big unit of Archer here with the Pyro Mage. A Bolt Thrower, and Bolt Thrower. And here on the left we have Alien River and the BSB. And my counter deployment. So first of all, I made sure that he has no shooting onto the Overlord. No line of sight with any of the Bolt Thrower. My Overlord is covering all this left flank and is protected at the moment. We have then the Anointed that are partially on the hill on the left. I place my Academy Incarnate, and then down the middle all my scoring units. So we have from right to left the Lugars, Vassal Levies, Bastion with 2 characters. And here we have my Infernal Warriors, and on the far right I place the Giant, who is going to be here to cover the angle so that the Phoenix cannot go out of my line of sight and basically take advantage from his mobility. So that's how I deployed. Let's move on to Eastern 1. I think we both realized quickly that it's not going to be easy for him to be aggressive with 3 single flying model and 2 mid-size infantry units against all my army. So basically he's taking position and prepare to do some damage with shooting before trying to attack. So it didn't move a lot, which is always a good sign of the quality of the counter deployment. If your opponent doesn't move that much on turn 1, is that you covered up most of his possibilities. Obviously I didn't allow him to move anywhere out of my angles. In the Magic Phase he got 2d6 strength 4 on the Vassals, killed 6 of them. Then he got a Lash, which did, I think, a wound to the Bastion and maybe killed also a Warrior. And then with shooting he killed a couple of Warriors here, and he kills also a Disciple of Lugar, but he didn't do that much from this turn 1. My turn 1, I see a possibility. Also, he put -1 to hit on those guys with the Grey Watcher. That is very annoying unit for me. I see an opportunity to march forward with both blunderbuss unit to be within 12 of those White Lion and try to hurt them. From turn 1, I did one mistake. I debated a bit, but I just placed myself to have everything within 12 to shoot. But I should have been just like an inch forward to be within the 6 inch of all the ground starting from turn 1. Then no matter what, I'm going to be in the zone. And I think that would have been way better. And then here right flank, I realized that I've been lucky on the saves with the Lugars, but they can quickly melt to his shooting, and then that's going to be hard to recover. So I felt, let's use the momentum, try to engage as soon as possible. Like I said, better in close combat, he's better from range, so let's not wait too long. I start by chaffing those guys in the flank, and then my Lugars are ready to countercharge after that. I have my giant used to cover all kind of angles, and then also be ready to support any potential combat. Here, like I said, shooting position here on the middle. I don't move that much. I continue to zone him and I'm protected from the hill. And here I start to maneuver a little bit towards the left flank. And Magic Face got a Grave Cold, kill 6 of the White Lion here. So like I said, there were 13 or 14, so 8 left. And then I put all my shooting into that and I finished the unit. Which is obviously great, so we cannot heal them back. And it's one scoring unit less on his battle line. So let's move on to his turn 2. He elected to charge my Vassal Levies, move the Phoenix out of the angle or far away from the giant, doesn't want to get any charge. And he's going to try to put as much shooting as he can into the Lugars, try to trim them down before any close combat, try to reduce their numbers. He used the Alien River to chaff my Bastion, and here, to my surprise, he elected to double charge into the Infernal Warrior. Like I said, I wasn't prepared for that. That was also a reason why I didn't go into the 6 inch of the center, because I felt that's not a good charge to take for him, actually. I have ranks, those guys, I stand and shoot on a 6-up, didn't kill any of them, but in close combat I should be doing some damage into them. And then his reform option to avoid the counter charge of the Anointed is highly dependent on what he does and how many model survives. But it could be that this guy could be stuck and then counter charged by the Anointed. So I felt quite okay about that. I felt, yeah, I have some options here and I should be able to hold a bit. But like I said, if I would have been just 1 inch forward, I would have been at least scoring, and now he's just like keeping me out of the 6 inch of the middle. And I think that was also one of the reasons why he elected to charge. So that's a bit disappointing from my side. I should have been anticipating that kind of charge. In the Magic phase, he got +1 strength on the cavalry here, tried to do more damage, and then he got also, I think, -1 to wound on those guys, which I didn't care much, because I have reroll to wound easily with my magical setup. And shooting, he killed a couple of Lugars, but nothing too crazy. Close combat, he killed everybody except 2 or 3 who fled this way. And here I killed 4 out of 5 cavalry guys, so there was 1 alive. And the Griffin did some damage to me, but I was steadfast. I stayed like I was, and unfortunately I couldn't reform in a good way because I'm still engaged by 2 units. And he had the possibility to reform in a way that it was impossible for the Truck Anointed to charge his BSB. Unfortunately, I was kind of limited of what I can do with the positioning due to the Bolt Thrower and my Overlord, so which is slightly annoying, obviously. I would have liked to secure the counter charge. I could have potentially placed myself better here. Let's move on to my turn. So now I'm preparing 2 counter charges and I see that I have still a lot of bodies. I should be able to stick for a while, and his BSB is not doing that much now that he's not charging anymore. So I felt he's potentially going to be stuck here, and I could get multi counter charges. So I push forward, the Phoenix doesn't see me. Since he retreated the Phoenix, this allows me to push hard with the Incarnate, looking in the middle of the ground, putting the Anointed on the hill, thing also here in case he wants to charge, and placing the Overlord so that he has only 1 Bolt Thrower shot on hard cover long range, while I will be able to counter charge the BSB no matter what. So I felt that's fine. And most exciting, I got a double charge here from the Lugars, and I also got the Giant, which was a mid-size, mid-distance charge. It was on the 7 or 8, and I got that in, which is huge because, yeah, it's a great charge for me. The General is in the unit, so I felt when I got that charge, that's a game-breaking charge for me. I get so many attacks. The giant, the stomps, and all these attacks should be really great. What happens is that on the stand and shoot, he managed to do the 2% chance of doing 3 wounds on 3 shots on the giant. So that was 2 up, 4 up, and then I have a 5 up armor save, and he still managed to do the 3 wounds out of my 7 wounds, which gets me slightly nervous. Obviously the giant is corner clipping, and I felt when I got this charge that should be the game here. Actually, if he loses that unit, there is no way he's going to recover. I'm going to get a first point on all the ground because I have 2 scoring. He has only 1, nowhere, just this one is going to die. So I was feeling really good about that combat. We'll see how that goes. We then go into magic phase. I'm going to try to get the breast weapon on the giant, which is a game-breaking spell, because if I get that, there is no chance that the white lion are not going to die. I 4 dice it, my opponent dispels it, and then on 4 dice I try to put +1 ward save on the Lugar, trying to help them surviving and get as many attacks as I can on his unit. But unfortunately, I fail the spell on 4 dice, so it's 9 due to the magical resistance that I need to get on 4 dice, and I roll really crap. And then with the remaining dice, I got a grave roll that did a wound to the Phoenix. But here I think a couple of regrets for me. Should have potentially, it was card number 8. So I could have either 5 dice to get the +1 ward save on the Lugas, or just 4 dice it on the giant, and then just put the ward save on the giant, because the giant surviving is kind of key. So I think here, yes, some mistakes in my magic phase, the way I played it. What happened in close combat? So we have here me killing the last cavalry guy, which was important for the secondary objective. I think I did pretty much nothing on his griffin. I stick on a steadfast, I'm still here. Then here I kill this cavalry. I don't remember if it was in magic or in shooting, but I got rid of those guys. I think I charged them. And what else do we have? I think that was it, and then the big close combat, obviously. So we have the prince, the lion, so I don't have much attack on the giant. I have parry, remember, so the prince, he's I think 4 attack or 5 attack, I think 4 attack on the 4+, and then on the 3+, and then I save on a 6 up, and the white lion is the same, he is on 4+, 3+, and I have a 6 up, but he does multi-wound 2, and he managed to one-shot the giant, which is unfortunate, like you see. So that's bad news for me, because the giant died before I was able to attack. So it's not only giving away points and combat result, but I cannot strike at all. So I just gave away unit for free, which was supposed to do a lot of damage on it. So I think here, yeah, if I would have had the ward save 5 up, I would have survived. So definitely here a mistake in the magic phase to remember. And then to add some salt on the injury, my Lugas, that's his attack, and he managed to do 8 wounds with the white lion on my Lugas, and I did only 3 wounds back. Obviously I was only hitting on 5 up, which is an issue, but still only 3 wounds, so I was losing combat, despite a charge that I expected to be game breaking. I ended up losing and fleeing the combat, which was completely insane. I didn't expect that at all. I tried to buff the combat, but not in the best possible way, and I got beaten by dice. I mean, that was crazy. So at the end of the turn 2, he gets a scoring unit that restrain into all the ground, and I got my bastion, which is 1-1, so it's nobody taking the first point of the center. His turn 3. He moves into the middle with some archers to add another scoring unit. He chaffs me again. He gets the Phoenix into the close combat to try to finish those guys, be free, potentially pursue. But I place myself so that I'm going to get a counter charge no matter what. He gets the Phoenix fleeing all the way here to threaten the flank of my bastion, and also have a look at those units. In the magic phase, he got 2d6 strength 4 on the anointed, so he went to town on the anointed. Got 1 wound with the Pyro Flow, and then 2 wounds with the Quicksilver Lash, despite me having ward save on those 2 spells. And then the rest of the shooting, so the bolters, everything on it, and it kills my anointed. So full unit in 1 turn, 9 wounds, resilience 5, 4 up armor save, with a ward save against fire on the magic, and it just deleted them. Which, yeah, wasn't expected. It's a scoring unit, so it matters quite a lot here. It's a counter charge, scoring unit, So wasn't too happy to lose them at this point of time. He killed some models, I was still steadfast, I stick, so I'm going to be able at least to countercharge with the Overlord and try to reverse a bit the game. As you can see, I was feeling so good one turn ago. After my charges, I was feeling like, okay, this game, I have it like in my hand, that should be fine. And now one turn after, it's just like I lost a couple of things, lost the giant, the Lugars fled, the warriors are going to be dead. I have only one scoring unit in the middle, he has multiple scoring units, so not only I'm losing the secondary, but I'm losing on points, so it's not looking good at all. My turn 3, I charge the Overlord. I push forward with the Incarnate that couldn't see the Phoenix due to the reform, so I had to move forward. That's still some fleeing vassal levies. So here basically, I have a charge and a flank, I'm 5 attack, strength 7, hatred on his BSB. So either I kill him in one turn or maybe in 2 turns, but I'm going to have a charge and a flank, a banner. So that's going to be very exciting. I should be winning that combat, potentially overrunning into the Phoenix, or he might be breaking with both. But that's going to be an opportunity for me to get something. I rallied the Lugars. I didn't charge against the Grey Watcher because that was also some kind of protection for me. The Lion were in my front arc, so if they charge me, they would only contact minimal. And then in case the Phoenix charge into here, I can counter charge with the Lugars. So I felt good about that. In the magic phase, I tried to put the ward save spell in the close combat, I think, or on myself, but I failed it. And then I got Gravecall on the Lion, I killed 5 of them, and I elected to shoot not on the Lion, because killing some of them would allow him to get a flank charge, which I didn't like. So I got instead shooting on the Archer, which were out of the forest, try to reduce them, and I killed 7 Archers. I could have also done the Gravecall on them, to be honest, and try to reduce those guys and kill them and get the points and get a scoring unit out of the center. That could have been worth it. And if we add the numbers, I killed 5 White Lion, so I would have killed also 5 of them, plus the 7, so that's the whole unit killed. So I could have tried that. I think would have make more sense to get rid of the scoring unit here on all the ground. Seems better than trying Gravefall here and shooting here. I think that's much better for him. So yeah, not too happy about that. The close combat here on the left. So the Overlords, that's the stats, so that's my impact, that's the bull, and then that's my big guy. So I managed to do 0 on the impact, 1 wound with the bull, I guess. And then my Overlord, it's 5 attack, strength 7, his hatred. I also use, I think, the Luga dice on 1 to wound, and he managed to pass all 4 ward saves. So I did only a wound, which is not crazy. The Phoenix didn't do much, he was losing combat by 3. So it's 2 times, I guess, 6 rerollable, and he passes both. So yeah, first key moment here in the game. He's turn 4, so he picked the first point in the middle, which is 1-0. As you can see, I left just 2 guys alive. I think that's due to the shooting. Yeah, I should have definitely put the Gravecall here. Would have deleted one of the scoring unit and helped me getting tie on the secondary, which would have been huge. So he kept the chaff here, he kept the White Lion here scoring, uses the Phoenix to chaff my Lugars. At least I think by getting the Gravecall here, he didn't allow him to charge the Lugars and try to finish them only with the White Lion. So at least that's that, so we can debate a bit about the choice here. Anyway, so he chaffs me with the Phoenix, he keeps here in front. That's about it. In magic phase, he get +1 strength on the Phoenix in the close combat, try to finish me. He got also, I think, the -1 to wound somewhere. And then close combat, and I didn't manage again to kill his BSB. He's still alive, he's stick, the Phoenix is still here, killing some more bodies. So yeah, it's not going well for me in this combat. I expected at least to deal with him in 2 turns, because this allows my Overlord to hide himself back into the hill or come close to the Bastion, but go back to safety. Now I'm on the hill and a lot of bolt horror looking at me and still in combat, so it's not looking good. That's the odds, I think, of the Overlord against his big guy. So again, didn't do well. I think he had like 2 wounds left. So yeah, I think in 2 rounds, when we look at the odds, I should have expected to kill him, but it can also happen that he saves a lot of the 4 ward save. My turn 4, so I charge with Incarnate into the corner of his Phoenix. I would then be able to get an overrun into those guys here. And the Bastion charge as well. He passes the terror check. Here I just move back with the Lugars out of line of sight of them. Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, I couldn't move into the zone, so I just did that. In the magic phase, I got at least I got an alchemy attribute here and something else, maybe a minus. Yeah, I don't remember what I got, but I got something here on. And then close combat. What happens? I finally killed the BSB. The incarnate killed the Phoenix, who had 3 wounds left. I kill him, I overrun into this combat that wasn't solved yet. I kill those guys and then I make another overrun on a 9 Swift Stride into the Lion, which is really good. I think I got a Grave Call into them and kill some guys before the combat, so everything back. I'm back on track actually. I was feeling really low after the turn 2-3 what happens, but now I'm back with the Incarnate engaging here. So that's not looking too bad, but obviously my opponent has 2 points of old ground. So his turn 5, he charged into the Lugars. Here we're stuck in combat. There's a couple of White Lion, and he's bringing more scoring units to score the center. My Overlord is free, but as you can see, he has 3 bolter looking at me. One is short range, one is long range, and the other one is long range and soft cover, so we'll see if I can survive that. I have 3 wounds left. In the magic phase, what happened for him? I think he got +1 +1 resilience on the Phoenix, and maybe, I don't know if he healed something. Close combat, I killed some White Lion, he has 2 left, he did some wounds to me. He passes all check on the 10 nearby, and I elected to restrain, obviously. I had better things to do, and I had a couple of wounds left. And then on my turn, which is the continue, I think, that's the odd. He's shooting with the last one that was hitting on 6s, I think. This one should be 3 up, 4, 5 up, I think. Long range, soft cover, and he's hitting on 3s. So I think 5 up and 5 up, 3 up, ward save, and he managed to do the full 3 wounds. So he kills my Overlord outright, which is another good amount of point, and a model that could have been back into action. So that's a bit disappointing. Let's continue the game on Warhall. So I charge here with the Incarnate. I had the charge here on the flank, but I felt it's going to be steadfast. It's not going to be so much worth it, and I need to free those guys, because on the last turn, if he's free, no matter what happened this turn, he could kill the scoring unit and then charge or block the Bastion and then come and score it. So I felt, let's save my unit in combat, so I just charge in the flank, place my Bastion forward to be within 6 with the breast weapon plus the shooting of the Bastion of this unit, trying to get rid with the shooting and then get the magic into the other unit, try to kill it. And I felt by doing that, I could get rid of the 2 scoring units and get only mine, which would be back to 2 to 1. So still able to save something here. A magic phase, I got a breast weapon on myself. I place an attribute of pyromancy, and I kill only one guy. I roll a 1-2 wound, so I didn't kill him. And then what else? He dispelled my Mark for Doom on this unit, and I failed the Grave Call on 3 dice, so too bad, I'm not going to be able to finish it. Shooting and breast weapon kill everybody except 2 or 3, so he's still alive, passed the panic check. Here I got alchemy attribute. I didn't kill the Phoenix, he's still alive on 1 wound, and he passes his check. Oh, we had a tie combat because he rolled good. I think on the Lugar he rolled like a 6 on the stomp. So we're still in combat, which is not too bad for me because he cannot shoot me on the last turn, which is at least a good news. On the last turn, nothing crazy happened. I finally killed the Phoenix. I did nothing to the Bastion. I charged with the Incarnate onto the Archer that fled, redirect on 6/6 on the Bolter, but I didn't make it. The Lugar's still here, and here I just killed the Bastion, which makes it 2 to 1, but still he won the middle. I took some good points towards the end, and I saved half the point of Incarnate, half the point of Lugar's, but I lost a lot of things. After everything set up, I ended up taking almost 3,000 points, where he took a bit less, so it was 12 to 8 to me, but which moved to a 9 to 11 because he won all the ground. So very interesting battle. I think a lot happens, and we had really 3 key phases in the battle that we can recognize. The early stages where I felt really good until my turn 2, I get this combo charge. I was feeling that's the game here. That should be the game. That should be it. And after that roller coaster of emotion, he kills the giant, break the Lugars, and he's in very good position, and I'm like, okay, now I'm really losing the game. So that was the game also. I lost the game here, and then climbing back the mountain with the Incarnate, getting this crazy overrun, breaking the lion, getting the pivot, killing the phoenix, and giving me a chance of something. I think I could have been playing better the last phase, but I think, yeah, it doesn't matter. I needed to get rid of the 2 units. So I was just thinking out loud if I do anything different in last magic phase, but I think still it wouldn't have changed much if I just prioritize to get 1 spell through. Then between the breast weapon and the shooting of the bastion, it's not so sure I'm going to kill, and I didn't roll well, so no matter what, I didn't kill the left unit, so still I lost it no matter what. So yeah, nothing here to regret. I think I made the right choices toward the end. So yeah, Highborn Elf able to start. I think that was good for him. I would have been happy to start. He didn't do that much range damage on the first turn, I have to admit, which allowed me then to push as soon as possible and get my range damage going. Open game, both players going for all the ground, and it turned quickly. I mean, this left flank with Infernal Warrior blocked out of the center, so that was a huge problem for me, not going into the center, but still I wasn't sure. I think it's still not a good charge to take for Andy, but it helped him in this case to slow me down and get me out of the center. Turn to Infernal Dwarves. Seems to be a game-breaking charge, turned really bad, so that was a huge surprise. Another illustration that when you go into combat you're not sure of anything. And then, yeah, I struggled to get rid of the BSB. I expected to be dealt with sooner, which was also an issue because my Overlord stayed on the hill and then was killed in 1 turn of shooting. And then towards the end I was finally back in the game due to the luck of the Incarnate making the 9 overrun Swift Strike charge into the White Lion, which allowed me to get some chance of getting points in return towards the end of the game, and even having a chance of winning the game. It was close. It was a close game, tense game, very interesting, and congrats to my opponent that came up on top at the end, but it was a really interesting game. Guys, that's all for this battle report. I hope you liked it, and I will talk to you soon for another game. Bye bye.